And we're live. Oh, that's going to throw me off. What's up, guys? Today is Thursday, September 26th. Coming at you live from Dallas, as always. Thanks for tuning in. Smash that like button, all that fun stuff, right? Today's call, I'm going to be breaking down deal first approach. Everything that we preach about. I'm going to try to go in depth as much as possible from how to originate leads, marketing. We're going to talk about deals, how to structure deals. As always, questions throughout. Drop them in the comments. Let me hear you. Let me know where you're commenting from. If you're in the Texas market, if you're out of state, let me know where you're from. So, getting right into it. I don't really have anything I want to talk about. I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to discuss. I'll just chat about those at the end. That's not a big deal. Jesus Christ, I can't believe Q3 is almost over, by the way. Is anybody ready for Q4 goals? Man, this year flew by. All right, deal first approach. What does it mean? It's really basic, guys. It is exactly what it sounds. You're going to approach it deal first. You're going to come to it, you're going to look at it, analyze it, and find the best disposition strategy. Okay, what is this going to do for you? This is going to make you be an investor first. Okay, no longer are you going to look at things and just be a wholesaler. You can still wholesale, you can still do everything, but I want you to stop trying to pigeonhole yourself into one disposition strategy. Okay, they don't always work. And when you do that, you're leaving money on the table. You're missing out on deals. There's a lot that's going to go wrong. And in the long run, you're really going to be shooting yourself in the foot. So I'm trying to help people to understand how to actually analyze a deal. What brought this up was actually, I was watching Carlos Reyes had a great interview on Investor Lift. I think it was like yesterday or 2 days ago. And he was talking about it. And if you guys don't know who Carlos Reyes is, well, you're living underneath a rock and I can't help you. But he's a great wholesaler. He's a great investor. He's been around forever. He kind of wrote the book on being a guru, and that's not an insult to him. Okay, the man knows what he's talking about. He's helped countless people. All right. But he gets into, in the beginning of their conversation, they talk about his formulas. All right. So let me know if you can hear this.
I came into the game back in 2013. A lot of people were running, an MAO formula, maximum allowed offer formula. Yeah. The old kind of Sean Terry formula, yeah, right? Which is like after a pair value, take away 70%, remember, like, or times 0.70, take away what you want to make, take away rehab. It was like this kind of formula that really gave you a really low maximum allowed offer, right? And then I'm like, no, I don't think that really works, right? And I'm like, why don't we do after repair value, take away agency fees and closing costs, which was 7%, so 0.93, or take away 7%, however you want to calculate that, right? 0.93, right? Take away what an investor wants to make, like let's just say 10%, right? Yeah. Right. Okay. If it's ARV 350, then an investor wants to make $35,000. Okay, so let's take away the $35,000. Okay, the property needs $40,000 in repairs. Let's take away the $40,000 in repairs, and then let's also take away your wholesale fee or whatever, your finder's fee, right? So let's just take away another $20,000, right? So I got a little more intricate, you know what I mean? Yeah. And by the way, that cash offer in today's market is also out the window. Yeah.
That ending is what I want you to really, really hone in on, right? They kind of cut it and they go to some silly ad.
Away the $40,000 in repairs, and then let's also take away your wholesale fee or whatever, your finder's fee, right? So let's just take away another $20,000, right? So I got a little more intricate, you know what I mean? Yeah. And by the way, that cash offer in today's market is also out the window. Yeah.
Why? Why is that offer out the window? Why does that offer not hold up the test of time? Because markets shift. Okay, some markets go up, some markets go down, and for the last up 10 years, we've been in an upward trending market. People were allowed to do tighter deals and still make profits. All right. He goes into listen to the. I highly encourage you to go and listen to the actual podcast. The interview was great. They talk about a lot of different things. One of the things that he does differently is they try to use the MLS for everything, right? So they're putting it out to the masses. My issue, okay, when you're analyzing things and you're just working off of small spreads and you're just trying to wholesale things and you're only pigeonholing yourself to one disposition strategy, is that doesn't work the test of time, right? That eventually something hits the market and something bumps the system, all right? And you will be out a lot of money. If you don't believe me, go back and look at Carlos Reyes's post where he says he's lost millions in real estate over, I think he said 2024 was one of his hardest years. Not in that, but in other Facebook posts he's said that. And this isn't me out saying anything negative against Carlos. God help me, no. I have a tremendous respect for the guy. What I'm trying to get across is how to analyze deals. All right. So it comes down to understanding your avatars. All right. So that's why I put it on the board behind me. I talk about this all the time. Who is going to be your end buyer and who needs to sell, right? These avatars are always different, all right? Not every seller is the same avatar as another seller, right? Everybody has different timelines, different pain points, different motivations, different needs, okay? So once you start dividing those out, you get really honed in on different avatars. You will see people specialize in this. They will deal with only one certain type of avatar sometimes, and they are amazing with that. Okay, and that's all they do. They focus their marketing toward that one avatar. They don't need to go outside. They understand their business, and they just crush it, right? It's the same thing on the buyer side. When you go to sell, who is going to be the end buyer for this property? Okay, and a lot of times people go into deals and they think it's just going to be an investor. I'm just going to wholesale this to some investor. I'm not going to have any skin in the game. I'm going to be in and out real quick. I'm going to make my little $10,000, $15,000 assignment, and I'm going to be moving on to the next deal. Problem with that, okay, is a lot of variables go into every deal. Not every deal works going to an investor. It's the cold hard truth. It's why a lot of there's a lot of flips out there that don't make sense. It's because it doesn't always make sense. If an investor can't make a profit on it, why is he going to buy it from you? Why is he going to solve all the promises that you made to that seller? Okay. I feel like I'm rambling, which is usually a good time for me to shift gears and actually go into what I'm talking about. Try to show it on paper, quote unquote, but it's not paper, it's Excel. So this is the REIAF deal analyzer. I made it myself. It is, if you click on the link below, it's the resources. Download the resources. You get this for free, right? Like there's no gimmicks here. I like creating stuff with Excel. So I'm going to actually bring up a deal, and I'm just going to put the numbers in here because I don't want to offend anybody. But this is a deal that was blasted out on through the network. Okay, it's a 440 ARV, 299, 900. Purchase price. Oh man, this is gonna piss me off because I'm gonna end up having to blast them. 299 purchase price. They didn't give us any repair budget. Okay, so you can see right out of the gate, we're looking at a 68% deal. Let me take a step back. If you want to calculate your offer, Mr. Reyes said it in the very beginning. When he first got started, he was using 70% minus repairs, 70% of ARV minus repairs, and it would get you a really low maximum allowable offer. Okay? That is the way to be an investor. He said that's how he got started, and then he realized, well, maybe it doesn't work. I can say a lot for what he's going to do, but obviously that's not the truth. I'm just thinking out loud. But maybe he got tired with negotiating. Maybe he wanted easier deals. Maybe he was tired on the dispo side, right? He didn't want to have people doing the disposition portion, so he was just working with realtors and going straight to the list, to the MLS. There can be a million things of why he changed, and I can't tell you why. He originally started out as an investor, and then he changed his model to more of a wholesale model for whatever reasons, and then market shifts. That calculation no longer works, but guess what does? That 70% minus repairs, it works for a reason. That price, that maximum allowable offer, is exactly what it is. It's your maximum. You have to start negotiations out significantly less, okay? You have to be able to give yourself room. This comes down to negotiations, and we can talk about that in a few minutes. But on this deal that they sent out, it's a 68% deal, purchase price. So what is my quote unquote, if I'm an investor, what is my budget for repairs here? They gave us 8,100 spread. So 8,100 would make this a 70% deal. There's no way in hell this is 8,100. Okay. Did I have the square footage? 1504 was the square footage. Oh, cool. I had it already entered. 1504. So if I'm using 1504, even cosmetics, it would be a $45,000 repairs. That's just lipstick on a pig. I don't know if oh shit. Sorry guys, you can't see that. My stupid head was in the way. So we have down here, depending on the square footage, it's going to give you guesstimates. This is just ballparks on what you're expected to spend for that repairs. The reason why you have to spend that much, I don't care. Let me press pause on this for a second. Going back to the avatar thing, right? If you don't know who your end buyer is, meaning specifically saying 123 Main Street, this one's going to go to an investor. No, 123 Main Street, this is going to go to a cash buyer. No, 123 Main Street, this is going to go to a retail buyer. Okay, if you don't know who your end buyer is, then you're analyzing deals completely from the hip, all right? This is why you need to understand how to calculate your repairs. I get into arguments with wholesalers when they say that's not my job. I'm not going to put repairs out there. Everybody can do repairs different. You're absolutely fucking correct. But at the same time, repairs across the board, if you're giving an ARV out, that is the number that needs to hit to make that ARV. Okay? You're going to pull up comps. Otherwise, if you're going to shit out on the repairs, you're going to get a lower ARV. And in today's market, wherever prices are actually settled or dipping, you're actually going to be way under. So I digress. And I go back to my calculator and yelling at wholesalers about needing to understand what repairs are. That's why you have to understand, like, just broad guess it. This property, I can pull up the photos if you want. Man, I'm not even kidding you when I say it's going to take every penny of $100,000 to do this house. The foundation is completely jacked. The house is literally falling off pretty much. And they only gave it $8,100. So who's the end buyer they're looking at on this? It is not somebody that's going to be able to go in and put sweat equity. Is it a cash buyer? No, it still doesn't make sense. Nowhere in this is cash buyers are held up because they don't want to pay lending costs. They want to save out on fees and stuff like that, which is fine. You can end up saving like 10% on a deal sometimes. Great. That's not making this a good deal or a bad deal. I'm sorry. Just to show, I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass, but whatever. Fuck it if it does. Just to show what I'm talking about here when I'm saying repairs. Okay, they put this deal out at almost 70%. So nope, not that one. That one. Beautiful house. Nice little cute house. Till you start going inside and you realize it needs to be a full gut job. Remember, they were pushing this to 440. So if you pull up the comps, I guarantee you that 440 house is decked out to the nines. Somebody's saying, oh, you can go in here and just paint it and put new flooring. No, not at all. All of this is trashed wood. These cabinets need to get ripped out. Wood paneling throughout. The bathrooms need a complete gut job. HVAC might be able to salvage and update, but this is my favorite. You see this 1.5 inch gap right here on the wall? I don't know if you can see it. Can you guys see it? Drop a comment if you can see it. Hold on, let me zoom in. You see it now? You can stick your hand in that. The floor is disconnected. The whole house fell off, right? Like, so this is very common in Texas. So I'm not looking at this and saying, oh, nobody can fix this. No, this is easily fixable. Not for what they have in the budget. Jesus, where's the fit to page? All right, there you go. Again, look, oh my God. I can fit a fist through there. That's not even a thing. Like, how do you not have a repair budget that actually accounts for this? Where do you get off sending this out at 70% of ARV? Oh, but there's 30% spread. Somebody can make a profit on that. Somebody's going to fail with this. And they're going to be filing for bankruptcy in the next 6 months to a year when their hard money lender won't do any more extensions. Is that all the photos? Am I done with the photos? There we go. Overall, the house isn't in bad shape, but tremendous foundation issues. I guarantee you it smells like cat piss. The reason why they ripped out all the flooring in the house was all carpet. You can see the amount of water damage on the floors in the corner. Also in the original, where was it? You can see it here. You can still see like just water damage everywhere. All of this has to get ripped out. If you want to make this a 440 house, oh, but that's not my job. That's the flipper's profit. And somebody, it's up to them to dictate how much money to spend at the house. That's up to them to spend how much on appliances, everything. Everybody has different tastes. Whatever bullshit reason you're going to give me on why you don't need to understand repair numbers, throw it out the window, because none of it makes sense. Somewhere, there's an end buyer involved, okay? Take us on a walkthrough here, bud. If this is your deal, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I apologize. Bro, what the fuck are you doing? You're really killing me, man. I can't even show you this. It's now sideways. Asshole. I hope you don't sell this. All right. I'm done beating that deal up for right now. Let me go back to the spreadsheet and kind of come up with a different offer, right? Again, I don't know what they have this at. I'm just telling you what they're marketing it at. So if it's going to take 100 grand, and you can argue with me on that number, let's cut it down. Let's say it's going to take 80 grand. Somebody's going to look at me right now and be like, I can get that job done for 60 grand. That's not the argument. The argument is never how much you can get a deal done for, okay? It comes down to how much it needs to make it look like the comps. That's what it's going to sell for. It comes down to the comps. Are the comps brand new builds? Are they fully decked out with granite and all these nice stainless steel appliances? Because if so, that property, when you go to list it, has to look like the comps. Otherwise, you're not going to get dollar for dollar for it. Tommy, can you read that all for me so I don't have to digest that? Give me a second on that, Hayden. That'll take me an hour to read. So what number does this make sense at? Oh, my God. If your repairs can't change, it only comes down to the asking price. But, Nick, what happens if there was a loan on it? What happens if they didn't have enough money to go down? Then, obviously, a cash offer doesn't work. There's still plenty of different ways to skin a cat. Is there financing on this? Are you able to subdue it? Are you able to owner finance it, right? Depending on, I know the location, depending on a bunch of different characteristics. But if you only go in there with one disposition strategy possible, you're going to fucking fail. Because no matter what promises you're making to that seller, you're not able to make them done. You're not actually able to complete them. All right. And we have these conversations all the times with sellers. One of our first questions is, are you working with anybody else? Is anybody coming out there to look at the property? Yeah, somebody's coming out tomorrow, and if they were out here, right? I have 5 other offers. That doesn't matter. Okay, awesome. Move on, right? Don't worry about the other offers. Start talking about the problems. We'll get into negotiations in a minute. All right, so what does this deal have to be? So right off the bat, I'm putting $71,900 just for a hard money loan down payment. That is if you're using hard money loan, and a hard money lender is typically at 70%. Some of them are going to ask for 10% down. So this number is actually going to have an additional 10% to it. Just to make our life easier, busting out the handy dandy calculator, 299,900 minus 71,900, 228. Okay. It was such a drastic change that I can't even talk about why the numbers are better here. Obviously, the thing that I always try to highlight and I always try to harp on is this number right here, this 85%. The reason that the 70% minus repairs is time tested and is the way that Carlos Reyes learned how to do real estate is because no matter, I don't want to say no matter what, but this is how people were still able to flip back in 08, 09, right? When the market was asking for 360 days on market before your deal was sold, this is how it was done. Can my deal take a 15% haircut? And even if it does take a 15% haircut, can I take 50% of that? And am I happy with that profit? Okay. So am I happy with this $20,000? Like, I don't know if I can highlight it anymore for you guys, but this number right here, am I happy with risking 80,000 plus time, like all this time, energy into a flip to make 20,000? If everything goes wrong, if my repair bids go double, right? You have to be able to stress test your deals. This also means if you're a wholesaler, you have to understand that your buyer, your end buyer, your avatar, this deal needs to make sense for them. If you're a wholesaler and you're selling to investors, the deal needs to make sense for them. Otherwise, why are they even going to pick up your phone? Why are they even going to respond to your email? Okay? The only way a deal makes sense is buying right. Understanding how to look at it from a deal-first approach, and then finding the best disposition strategy for that. So, Hayden, I finally read all this. If you try to find my website and post your shitty deal on there, I'll find you. Honest to God, though, man, all jokes aside, when are you coming out? I haven't seen you at one of our networking events. I'm guessing this has to do with Tony's post. Sorry, I'm literally just reading. All right, back to topic at hand. This right here, this type of calculator, and just sitting here and analyzing deals, you can do this with wholesale deals too, and make them make sense. It has to fit your buy box, whatever your buy box is. Understand the numbers through and through. All right, let me pull back on that. How do you find deals? So how do you find your avatar? It comes down to this question right here. Who needs to sell? Not who wants to sell, not who would like to move. Those are all things you can go into, right? But you have to come up with the, I think it's 4 or 5. It's time. You have to find people with pain, motivation, timeline. There's price involved there too, but I'm not going to put it up there. The pains and motivations, those can stand out. You can go to county records and you can pull pre-foreclosure lists. You can pull, you can do a bunch of shit. You can pay bird dogs. Bird dog is it's a reference for somebody that is going to just give you leads, right? So perfect example of this is I know a lot of people that pay trashmen. They pay mailmen. People that go driving around neighborhoods often for work. Hey, listen, if you ever see a property that they don't put out their trash for a while in a row, consecutive weeks in a row, let me know. If I end up buying the deal, I'll give you $1,000 cash, right? $1,000 or $500 or whatever referral fee you want to give them is a lot of money to these people for doing nothing outside of their normal work. Finding bird dogs for that is an amazing opportunity. This is also a way to generate That 30% networking that we always talk about, at 70%, 30%, 70% has to be some form of, if you want to be successful and do a lot of deals, has to be some form of paid traffic. But when you're first getting started, obviously that 70% is going to be scaled back drastically based on your budget. So if you don't have money to spend in marketing, Bird Dog's one great way, all right? Networking, going out, driving for dollars, all these things are amazing routes because it allows you to go out and actually put eyes on properties that need to get purchased, okay? The grass is overgrown. The windows are broken. There's just cardboard blocking windows, right? The roof has been tarped and then tarps blown off, and just houses. We call them WTF houses, right? You drive past them all the time and you say, what the fuck, man? What is going on in that house? All you have to do is write down the address and then go to county records, find out who the owner is, skip trace them. It costs, what, $2 to skip somebody? You can do free people search, right? People put excuses in their way from just doing work. We do everything. Everything we do is direct to seller because that's the avatar we want to focus on. That is the avatar that has the most wiggle room. Okay. When I start throwing other people in the middle, when I start throwing agents involved, when I start throwing other partners involved, JV, whatever, there's more mouths to feed. There's less equity, whatever like word you want to use for it. There's less room for you to work with. Okay, going direct to seller is the number one way for you to make money and close deals successfully. Okay, the other route, and it is a great route, I'm not knocking it at all, is to direct to agent. All right, going out there and just finding deals, finding bird dogs out of agents in a sense. That is an amazing route. You're dealing with agents. I'm not a fan of agents, in case you didn't know. I think they're unintelligent human beings. It's the lack of frontal cortex firing, I believe. Something like that. I try not to work with them just because they don't understand what investing is a lot of times. When I first started in real estate, I was working with a lot of agents just because I was doing lending for their clients. And a lot of times they just didn't understand what was needed to get a deal closed. They didn't understand the timeline. I'm sitting there trying to close deals for their clients, and all they're worrying about is when they're going to get paid. Okay? The average agent, and I'm just saying the average, there are fabulous agents out there. Hashtag BK Real Estate. I love them. The average agent doesn't understand the average, like an investment deal, let alone a real estate deal. I think I said that backward. They don't understand a real estate deal, let alone an investment deal, right? And less alone a wholesale transaction, or if you're doing a double close, you're doing anything tricky, they don't understand it. They haven't been in the business long enough most of the times. For that reason, I just try to go directly to sellers. It's not hard. Marketing is everywhere, okay? There's Driving for Dollars apps. There's Lead Zolo. There's PPLs. I always say don't do your own PPC until you're ready and you can actually spend money and burn money. Because PPC, you will be doing that. You will be spending money and setting it on fire until you get a deal and you're actually getting revenue from it. Cash conversion cycles. Hashtag. Does let me know in the comments. Does any of this make sense? Are you guys having issues with different avatars or different sellers right now? One of the things, right, that we've come across, if I'm only trying to wholesale deals, how do I help somebody if they're over leveraged? I can't wholesale a short sale. Short sales have a long timeline. If I only looked at it from a wholesale perspective, I wouldn't be able to help that seller, and I would just be hanging up, and I would be on to the next one, right? Our 1 in 10 would now be 1 in 11, or 1 in 12, or 1 in 13, right? The averages just keeps climbing up. Short sales right now are on the rise. The market has changed. 2023, you never did a short sale. 2022, never did a short sale. You didn't do a short sale since 2010. Now they're on the rise. If you're only looking at things from one disposition strategy, you're going to miss out on everything. You have to stay up to date on the market, what it's actually allowing you to do, and what you can help people, how you can help people. All right, this is a people business. If you want to be successful, it comes down to helping sellers. And you only do that by understanding it from a deal-first approach. Negotiations. We can kind of end on this. I'll go rant about negotiations a little bit. If anybody is having problems, drop in the comments anything I'm not saying, anything that I'm saying that doesn't make sense, let me hear it. If you disagree with what I'm saying, tell me. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. I'd love to hear it. Negotiations, we say all the time, you have to understand the why. The pain, the motivation, the timeline, and then the price. Price is the fourth one. 4 pillars. You need to understand their price. You have to understand are there liens on the property? Okay, yesterday we talked about liens, HVAC liens, solar liens. These are questions that you should ask the seller up front. Maybe not in the first 30 seconds, but build up rapport. Take time. Your goal of your initial contact isn't to get a contract. In no way, shape, or form should you be rushing to get a contract. I know right now there's hair on everybody's neck that's standing up, and I'm saying everything ass backward, but I want you to slow down. Your initial touch shouldn't be your goal of your initial touch shouldn't be to lock up a contract. The odds of that happening are fucking low. I don't care what fake belt you're wearing. You have to understand, you set precedent, all right? Your first contact, just try to set an appointment. Gather as much information and then follow up with them. Set a timeline that you're going to follow up with them, right? Just ask a million questions, have an hour-long conversation, and then when you get off the phone, set a time that you're going to call back. Your goal should hopefully be to get belly to belly with them, because belly to belly will beat everything. That is the way you buy deep, is getting belly to belly with people. But if you can't get belly to belly for whatever reason, it's okay to hang up that phone. Set a time. All right, or what's your timeline tomorrow? Is it okay if we chat at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., or whatever time, right? Set foundation for the next step, okay? Walk through your entire process as a business. Why do they want to work with you? It's because you're going to get it done. The price isn't the number. Like, the price isn't the thing that's holding them back. If you tell them $100,000, excuse me, if you tell them $100,000 over and you can't close on it, what's the benefit? Non-stop, we talk to sellers who are pissed off at wholesalers because they have contracts and they've been kicking the can for over a month. They keep on sending people to look at the property. Listen, unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if they don't have a buyer by now, usually they send their best and most qualified in that first round. So if they're still sending people to look at it, they most likely don't have a buyer for you. That is because they're offering you way too much fucking money. Your house isn't worth it. Don't say it like me. I'm a little blunt, but tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. You're the professional that's going to solve their problems. Otherwise, get out of the goddamn business. That bluntly. If you can't help sellers out of pre-foreclosure, if you can't help them close fastly, if you can't help them sell their dead parents' house or whatever, right? If you can't go through probate, if you can't solve the seller's problems, you're doing them a great disservice, and you're lying to them. Those type of people are getting flushed out of the market right now. Those are the ones that are screaming from the high top saying there's blood in the streets. It's all right. Let them. Trying to think if I have anything else I want to add. Anything else I want to talk about? I hope I know I ran through numbers really quick, but I hope everybody grasped it. If you guys need a copy of my deal analyzer, again, just click the resources link and I'll send you right to it. I also stress, I implore you to join the Discord. It's a free Discord. We're constantly talking about real estate. There's no gimmicks, no sales, no nothing. I don't know if Josh is in here, but I have to get some new lists out there for him. I know that. He commented yesterday, but yesterday was a bad day. So I'll do that today. I'll get some more lists updated. If anybody needs anything, reach out, let us know. On Halloween, we have our second annual golf tournament coming up. It is invite open to the public. It is for an amazing cause. The Cowtown Warriors, everything, 100% of this goes to the Cowtown Warriors. They are all 100% volunteer. Everything goes to helping veterans in North Texas. It's an amazing charity and is an amazing event. And we're going to have over 100 real estate professionals there, networking. It's going to be a great time. Everybody will be done before trick-or-treating. I have kids. This was a big thing. I had to make sure that we were going to be done before and in time to go and trick-or-treat. Otherwise, my wife would castrate me again. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to touch on before I tap out. And I don't think there is. But if anybody needs anything, join Discord and hit us up, because that's where you'll find us all day, every day. If not, tomorrow's Friday. Fuck it, I'm not having a live call. Tomorrow is actually Free Call Friday, and it is only in Discord. Everybody is invited. Everybody hops in Discord, and it's open discussion. Anybody has any leads they want to talk about? We've called live sellers here. I've handed out live warm leads in the past. It's always a great time, and it's every Friday. If not, I will see everybody. Keep crushing it. Peace.